room in any moment. All are requested to kindly take your seats.
टीका श्रीवास्तव जी कहाँ से? यूपी। यूपी कहाँ से?
बस्ती गोरखपुर के पास एक जगह है।
पूर्वी उत्तर प्रदेश।
Very good morning, everyone. Atithi Devo Bhava, which means guest is God. In Indian culture, the guest is considered akin to God. Following this host-guest relationship, it is the matter of great pleasure and honor to welcome all the delegates to the conference on role of traditional medicine in India and ASEAN countries in mitigation of COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, we are honored to have among us Honorable Minister of Ayush and Minister of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji, and Honorable Minister of State for Ayush, Dr. Munchpara Mahendra Bhai ji, among us who have graced the occasion by their presence. We welcome you, sir. We also have among us Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji, Secretary Ministry of Ayush. We also have among us 15 international delegates from 8 ASEAN countries: Brunei, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam, and 1 delegate from ASEAN Secretariat. We welcome you all. India enjoys friendly relations with all the ASEAN member states. The multidimensional relationship between India and ASEAN stands on a strong foundation of shared geographical, historical, and civilizational linkages to each other over 2,000 years. The Ministry of Ayush maintains constant interactions with the ASEAN countries for developing cooperation in the field of traditional medicine. As we all are aware, the COVID-19 pandemic has put an unprecedented challenges for the entire medical fraternity and public health of the entire globe, including ASEAN member states and India. During this conference, we will get an opportunity of getting the insight of the wisdom and knowledge of speakers from all ASEAN member states and India who have gathered tremendous experience and expertise in the field of traditional medicine for curbing the spread of pandemic. Now I request Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji to welcome the guest with the flower bouquet. I request Secretary Sir to welcome Honorable Minister of Ayush, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji with the bouquet. Now I request Secretary Ayush to welcome Honorable Minister of State Ayush, Dr. Munchpara Mahendra Bhai ji with a floral bouquet. Now I request Professor Ravindra Acharya ji, Director General CCRAS, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, to welcome Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji, Secretary, Ministry of Ayush. Now I request again Professor Acharya ji to welcome Ms. Geetika Srivastava, Joint Secretary, Indo-Pacific Region, Ministry of External Affairs. I again request Professor Acharya to welcome Shri Jaideep Kumar Mishra ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Ministry of Ayush. I now invite Professor Ravindra Acharya, Director General, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, for his welcome address.
Namaste to all the members present in this August Hall. It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of this international conference on traditional medicines between India and ASEAN countries. I, on behalf of Ministry of Ayush, wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Sri Sarvananda Sonewal ji, Honorable Union Minister of Ayush and Ports, Shipping and Waterways. I welcome Dr. Munjupara Mahendrabhai Kolubhai, Honorable Union Minister of State for Ayush, Women and Child Development. Sir, under you both Honorable Ministers, Minister of Ayush has achieved a great height, and your blessings are always with us for propagate Ayurveda not only in India, Ayurveda and all Ayush system of medicines not only in India but across the globe. This arrangement of this convocation, the seminar on traditional medicines upon ASEAN countries is one of your visionary missions. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, on behalf of the organizing committee. I welcome Vaidya Rajesh Koteja ji, who is being mentor for the Minister of Ayush, being the secretary and leader of the team of ministry, and your visionary steps has made this arrangement successful and in a time-bound manner. I welcome you, sir. I welcome the Honorable Dr. Jaideep Mishra ji, Secretary A&F, sir. Your involvement in ministry's Ayush Ministry matter and sanctioning of all this involvement, financial matters, sir, you are actively involved and your blessings are always with us, sir, for the organizing committee. On behalf of organizing committee, I welcome you. I welcome Madam Srivastav ji, Joint Secretary, Minister of External Affairs. Madam, we had a series of meetings and your guidance make this meeting successful. And I welcome the delegates from ASEAN countries. I welcome the delegates from Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Brunei, Thailand, Myanmar, Philippines, and Malaysia. Though the Cambodia and Singapore, they have willingness, but they couldn't remain present. And I just want to highlight about the honorable members about the theme of two peacocks, which Minister of Ayush has decided, the artistic theme of this conference, which this pair of peacocks depicts in between the Ashoka Chakra and ASEAN's logo. This peacock is the national bird of India, and it symbolizes renewal, growth, prosperity, and positive energy, which itself conveys that this scientific communion can certainly lead to positive growth of traditional system medicines in future. As we all know, India has a huge, a strong base of traditional medicines, which includes Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, and Swarippa. It is being practiced in many countries, and particularly the fundamental principles of Ayurveda in the countries like Indonesia, where Jamu is practiced, Malaysia, which Malay medicine is practiced, Vietnam, where traditional Vietnam medicine is practiced, and all these Brunei systems very closer to the fundamental principles of Ayurveda and allied traditional medicines in India. All from them are suitable similarities with the Ayurveda, and particularly the Lao medicines, whose main principle lies with Kumpenya, that is bitter is the medicines. So in terms of fundamental principles or in terms of pharmaceutical practice, all where we are having similar in nature, many points we are similar, but the way of approach is somewhat different. But this traditional system of medicines, not only it is a common feeling that we are for well-being, but we have shown our strength. All the traditional systems of medicines across the globe have shown their strength during COVID pandemic. And we are here to know our strength. Not only we are not only for the preventive or some common medications, but we have traditional medicines have strength for management of pandemic conditions and other disease conditions, acute disease conditions also. So with this theme, this conference on the role of traditional medicine in India and ASEAN countries in mitigation of COVID-19 pandemic and future strategy is being planned. I welcome you all for this conference and I also welcome the members from the pharma companies. I welcome you all again. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji, Secretary Ministry of Ayush, for opening remarks.
Namaskar to all. Respected Sri Sarbanand Sonowal ji, Honorable Union Minister of Ayush and Ports and Shipping and Waterways. Respected Dr. Mahendra Bhai Munjpara ji, Honorable Union Minister of State for Ayush and Women and Child Care. ASNFA, Ministry of Ayush, Sri Jaideep Mishra ji, eminent expert who is here, Professor Bhushan Patwardhan, who is also a National Ayush Professor and co-chair of the WHO Global Traditional Medicine Conference, which is being scheduled in the month of August. Gitika Srivastav, the Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, all the distinguished guests and delegates came from the different ASEAN countries, my colleagues and in the industry participants. My namaskar to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this significant event of India ASEAN Conference on Traditional Medicine being organized by Ministry of Ayush with active support from Ministry of External Affairs, Indian Mission to ASEAN and ASEAN Secretariat, Jakarta, Indonesia. This conference marks an important milestone in fostering collaboration and exchange of knowledge between our nations. The socio-cultural practice and biodiversity heritages of traditional medicines are invaluable resources to evolve inclusive, diverse, and sustainable development. The Delhi Declaration on Traditional Medicine was adopted during last India-ASEAN Conference on Traditional Medicine held in New Delhi in 2013 in cooperation with the WHO Southeast Asia Regional Office. The declaration saw the commitment by member countries to promote national policies and develop strategies for appropriate use of traditional medicine in healthcare delivery, sharing of information, expertise and best practices, harmonization of educational qualifications, pharmacopoeias and monographs, and development of common reference documents for Southeast Asian countries on traditional medicine. Globally, the landscape of traditional and complementary medicine has been improving consistently in line with the WHO Traditional Medicine Strategy 2002-2005 and then Traditional Medicine Strategy 2014-2023, which is now extended to 25. And relevant World Health Assembly resolutions, it is estimated that 88% of all countries use traditional medicine, such as herbal medicines, indigenous therapies, and others. ASEAN countries also have recognized the importance of traditional medicine and have taken steps to integrate it into their national healthcare systems. Many countries have established regulatory frameworks to ensure the safety, quality, and efficacy of traditional medicines. ASEAN member states have also collaborated on harmonizing standards and regulations for traditional medicines within the region. Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani are regulated in Malaysia. Ayurveda is regulated in Myanmar. There is wide acceptance to Ayurveda in Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and other ASEAN countries. The Ministry of Ayush had undertaken several R&D initiatives to harness the potential of Ayush system to contain the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Proactive initiatives, mutual understanding between organizations, successful conduction of integrative research, and active participation of the private and public stakeholders in the effective implementation of initiatives, and the widespread acceptance of Ayush measures by general public largely helped in combating this crisis. It is a pleasure for me to also inform the august audience that overall 150 clinical, preclinical and epidemiological studies on COVID-19 research have been undertaken by the research councils and national institutes and universities of Ministry of Ayush and across the country. This has helped into having these Ayush interventions into the national clinical management of COVID-19 in India. The Ayush sector has grown multifold in India in 9 years since the year 2014. It is estimated that it has grown by 8 times in 9 years, both in manufacturing and service industry sector. Globally, in this era of rising prevalence of non-communicable disease, chronic diseases, antimicrobial resistance and aging, patients and healthcare professionals are calling for the revitalization of the healthcare system with a greater focus on person-centered, individualized and holistic care. And traditional medicine is exactly doing the same. So, improving equitable access to safe, quality and effective traditional medicine products and services can effectively meet communities' needs in building sustainable and resilient healthcare systems, which helps in achieving sustainable development goals and universal health coverage. During this conference, we will have the privilege of hearing from distinguished speakers who have dedicated their lives to the study and practice of traditional medicine. Let's embrace this opportunity to learn from each other, to share our successes and challenges, and to chart a path forward that harnesses the transformative potential of traditional medicine. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, sir, for your visionary remarks. His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, Secretary General ASEAN, could not join us physically, but we are honored to have his video message with us. So, may I request you to kindly play the video message, please?
Excellency Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, Secretary of the Ministry of Ayush, Excellency Dr. Manpara Mahendrabai Kalubai, Union Minister of State for Ayush and Women and Child Development, Excellency Sri Sabananda Sonowal, Union Minister for Ayush and Ports, Shipping and Waterways, distinguished health sector representatives from the ASEAN member states. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the ASEAN Secretariat. I would like to start by congratulating the Ministry of Ayush of the Government of India for convening this timely conference on traditional medicine between India and ASEAN, role of traditional medicine in India and ASEAN countries in mitigation of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as for successfully leading this important initiative with the ASEAN health sector. Indeed, the theme of today's event is a vital reminder that traditional and complementary medicine, or T&CM, is a shared characteristic that spans the rich histories, cultures, and practices the peoples of the ASEAN member states and India. In this sense, I'm encouraged by the presence of key stakeholders of traditional and complementary medicine in this conference, as it demonstrates our collective efforts towards learning to live with COVID-19, as well as to fully recover from the pandemic. This mindful approach will allow us to steadfastly move forward towards realizing the overarching goals of the ASEAN community with our dialogue partners, such as India, as well as other external partners. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to highlight 3 key points in which synergy between the ASEAN member states and India on T&CM are mutually beneficial and complementary in nature as follows. First, the ASEAN health sector has recognized the importance of regional cooperation on T&CM and is continuing to consider it as a health priority as reflected in the current work program. It is realized in the 2021 and 2025 work program of ASEAN Health Cluster 3 on strengthening health systems and access to care, which was adopted by the 15 ASEAN Health Ministers meeting in Bali in May last year. Second, India became ASEAN's dialogue partner in 1996 and became a comprehensive strategic partner of ASEAN in 2022. The plan of action to implement the ASEAN-India Partnership for Peace, Progress, and Shared Prosperity for 2021-2025, which is implemented across the 3 pillars of the ASEAN community, also highlights the importance of regional cooperation on public health. Third, this cooperation aims to promote the sharing of information in the field of public health, medicine, health education, and health promotion that are relevant to the priorities of the ASEAN health sector in terms of 1. Promoting healthy lifestyles, 2. Responding to all hazards and emerging health threats, and 3. Strengthening health systems and access to care, and 4. Ensuring food safety. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as the title of this conference implies, the evolving SARS-CoV-2 virus places multiple and unprecedented challenges in all sectors and fields, especially in the health sector. To better understand this phenomenon, various researches were conducted in different parts of the world, including to explore and understand how traditional medicine has contributed to mitigating the effects of COVID-19. Recognizing that traditional medicine leverages on centuries of worth of knowledge, skills, experiences, practices, beliefs, and theories used in the promotion of health, as well as prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of different types of illnesses. It is not surprising that traditional medicine also found its way to addressing COVID-19 as well. I believe that ASEAN would also benefit from the wealth of experience of India on traditional medicines, particularly in mitigating the effects of COVID-19. Indeed, based on the global report on traditional and complementary medicine by WHO in 2019, the Southeast Asian region has one of the highest percentage of countries with national or state level laws and regulations on T&CM and its practices. It's also worth mentioning that regional cooperation on traditional medicine is a shared responsibility of the health and economic sectors in ASEAN. From the economic sector's perspective, this provides for the harmonization and implementation of technical requirements and guidelines to support traditional medicines trade, as well as promote regional economic integration without compromising safety, quality, and efficacy of products. Examples of these are the ASEAN guiding principles for inclusion into or exclusion from the negative list of substances for traditional medicines and labeling requirements for traditional medicines. From the ASEAN health sector's perspective, it is important to promote the population's use of T&CM as part of universal access to essential healthcare services and safe and quality products. Upcoming health-related guidelines and frameworks include traditional and complementary medicine practice guidelines in ASEAN, and the ASEAN recommendations on quality healthcare containing primary healthcare and T and CM provisions. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude by encouraging all participants to fully utilize this conference as an effective platform to exchange experiences and good practices in order to enhance policies and programs on T and CM, including its integration in the healthcare system of the ASEAN member states. I look forward to the exchange of insights from all esteemed speakers and participants, as well as to the outcomes and recommendations which I trust will be essential given the cross-cutting priority in ASEAN. I wish you all fruitful deliberations and successful outcomes at the conference. Thank you.
We are grateful to His Excellency Secretary General for ASEAN for his video message and highlighting the importance of synergy between India and ASEAN countries and encouraging the participants for effectively utilizing the platform for exchanging the experiences and good practices. Now I request Honorable Minister of State for Ayush, Dr. Munchpara Mahendra Bhaiji, for his address.
In conference on traditional medicine between India and Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, organized by Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Dignitaries on the dais, Sri Sarvanand Sonowalji, Honorable Union Minister of Ayush, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, His Excellency Kao Kim Hon, Secretary General, ASEAN countries, Vaidya Rajesh Kotejaji, Secretary Ayush, Government of India, Srimati Geetika Srivastav, Joint Secretary, MEA, Jaideep Kumar Mishra, Health and Family Welfare Ministry from Health and Welfare Ministry, Professor Ravindra Acharya, DG CCRS, Government of India, esteemed guests from ASEAN members countries and distinguished speaker, guests attending the conference and media persons. First of all, Namaskar and good morning to all of you. Today, we gather here with shared vision to explore, deliberate and share the knowledge of the rich heritage and healing tradition that have been passed down through generations in India and the ASEAN region. India and ASEAN have rich traditional healing systems that share similarities in terms of herbal remedies, holistic approaches, and cultural practices which have high influence on Ayurveda or are based on Ayurvedas along with spread of Buddhism. The science of Ayurveda also got spread to the ASEAN countries. India, after adopting a pluralistic healthcare management system, has gained vast experience in over 75 years towards standardization, quality assurance, as well as safe and evidence-based use of Ayurveda and other Indian system of medicine and their integration in public health. Flagship public health program of India like Ayushman Bharat as well as National Ayush Mission are being implemented with objective of achieving universal health coverage and to comply with sustainable development goals, especially SDG 2, Zero Hunger, and SDG 3, Good Health and Well-being. Our food and diet have also major role in maintaining our physical as well as mental health. Millets play a major role in providing necessary minerals, fibers, and other ingredients to body in bioavailable form. On India proposal, the United Nations has declared year 2023 as International Year of Millet. Since the start of year 2023, millets, according to regional choice of people, are being integrated in daily diet. Under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, integration, evidence generation and mainstreaming of India's Indian system of medicine has been prioritized. One of the action initiated in this regard is the inter-ministerial collaboration. Ministry of Ayush and Ministry of Women and Child Development through their MOU in year 2020 are working together against malnutrition by integrating Indian traditional system of medicine with conventional nutritional intervention through various activities such as awareness on regional and seasonal dietary practices, Ayush related activities for anemia and pregnancy, yoga sessions, traditional food for healthy mother and child, medicine distribution, webinars, etc. In alignment with National Education Policy 2020, Ministry of Ayush has International Fellowship Program for foreign nationals for undertaking Ayush UG, PG, PhD courses in premier institute in India. 104 scholarships are offered every year to eligible foreign nationals from 101 countries. At present, 278 students from 42 countries are taking Ayush education in different institutes. Many scholars from ASEAN countries are pursuing currently Ayush courses in various premier institutes in India. The India-ASEAN Traditional Medicine Conference serves as a platform for exchanging knowledge, experiences, best practices and research outcomes among experts, practitioners, researchers and policymakers from both India and the ASEAN countries. Through this collaborative effort, we aim to deepen our understanding of traditional medicine, explore its potential application for harmonization and forge partnership that will foster generation of robust evidence and integration into healthcare system. Together, we can build a healthier and more resilient future for our nation and generations to come. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging remarks. Ministry of Ayush has compiled an abstract cum bio book, and this book contains the introduction about the speakers from Indian and ASEAN countries and the abstracts of their presentation which they are going to make today. I request Honorable Minister of Ayush and Port, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji, for release of this book. Ministry of Ayush acknowledges the efforts of Dr. BCS Rao, Assistant Director, Ayurveda CCRAS, Dr. Avinash Chen, Dr. Ashwin Chandra, Dr. Amit Rai, Dr. Sophia Jamila, Dr. Asim Ahmed, and Dr. Dheeraj Devnath for compilation of this booklet. Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Minister of Ayush and Honorable Minister of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji, for his presidential address.
Namaskar. Today, we are all happy to be associated to each other in the spirit of brotherhood, and we are here to promote the principle of humanity. Respected Union Minister for Ayush, Dr. Manjupara Mahendra Bhai, respected Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, Padma Shri Vaidya Rajesh Katisha ji, official from the Ministry of Ayush and Ministry of External Affairs, respected delegate from ASEAN member countries, and all the distinguished speaker, expert, practitioners, official, and industry partners. It is with great pleasure that I address this esteemed gathering at the India ASEAN Conference on Traditional Medicine, representing a nation that deeply values the power and potential of traditional medicine. India's relation with the associations of Southeast Asian nations have a long and significant historical background rooted in cultural, economic ties that date back to more than 2 millennia. Historical records revealed that Indian traders, especially from the southern region, embarked on maritime expedition and established trade link with various kingdoms in the ASEAN region. These exchanges led to the spread of Indian culture, including religion, art, language, and science. Magnificent structures at historical sites such as Angkor Temple Complex in Cambodia's northern province of Siem Reap, the ancient Candies in Kedah in Malaysia, and the Borobudur and Prambanan temples near Yogyakarta in Indonesia are, in fact, evidences of India's early linkages and its influence on Southeast Asian nations. India and ASEAN together form total 7,787 million square kilometers, accounting to just over 15% of total land size of the world. India and ASEAN, with their combined population of over 2 billion, account for about 30% of the global population. The combined GDP of India and ASEAN is estimated to be $7.41 trillion for the year 2023. ASEAN is India's fourth largest trading partner, accounting for 10% of India's total trade. This enumerates the huge potential for trade and development in the sector. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, at the 12th ASEAN-India Summit at Myanmar in November 2014, enunciated Act-East policy, giving a new momentum to the strategic partnership. The Act-East policy emphasizes connectivity, commerce, and culture. That is 3 C's as the focus area of action for a greater ASEAN-India integration. Last year, that is 2022, India-ASEAN celebrated 30 years of friendship. The traditional medicine sector has potential to fulfill all the 3 C's. India and the ASEAN nations share a rich heritage of traditional medicine system that have been nurtured and practiced for centuries. They are blessed with rich biodiversity and have a lot of similarity in the flora, which has also found place in their traditional diet. Our collective wisdom in this field encompasses deep-rooted system of traditional medicines like Jamu medicine of Indonesia, Malay medicine practiced in the region with Malay communities, including in Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Myanmar traditional medicine, Thai traditional medicine of Thailand, and Vietnamese traditional medicine. Indian traditional system, popularly known as Ayush, system of medicine consisting of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Soharikpa, and Homeopathy, which are well integrated into healthcare delivery system of the country. Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, Ministry of Ayush through its various policy initiatives, strategies, and action is strengthening, promoting, mainstreaming the Ayush system of medicine in accordance with the global context and national priorities from grassroots level. A robust ecosystem for Ayush is being developed by creating benchmark standard for education, research, product, practices, practitioners of Indian traditional system of medicine for achieving the sustainable development goals and universal health coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, regulatory reforms brought in the Ayush medical education sector over the last 9 years have transformed this sector, bringing in transparency, meritocracy, and expansion. The statutory bodies, National Commission for Indian System of Medicine, National Commission for Homeopathy, have been established to regulate the standard of education, teaching, training, recognition of degrees, and practice of Indian system of medicine and homeopathy. Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda is the first and only institution with institute of national importance in Ayush sector. This has taken Ayurveda education to a new height. National Institute of Ayurveda was conferred the deemed to be university status under de novo category and was dedicated to the nation by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, on 13th November 2020. The first ever All India Institute of Ayurveda set up to bring synergy between the traditional wisdom of Ayurveda and modern diagnostic tools and technology. It is bridging the gaps in the scientific information about quality, safety, efficacy of Ayurveda product, and developing standard for Ayurvedic education, research, and healthcare services. The Global Center for Traditional Medicine of World Health Organization, being set up at Jamnagar with the support of India, will help member countries in taking enabling steps in their respective countries for strengthening education practices of traditional medicine. It can act as a force multiplier in each member state in providing an access to safe, effective, low-cost coverage for promotion of health and prevention of diseases in all member states. Yoga symbolizes the union of body, mind, and consciousness. Today, it is practiced in various forms around the world and continues to grow in popularity. The International Day of Yoga is celebrated every year on 21st June with great enthusiasm worldwide. Yoga has immense potential in providing stability to body and mind, to bring in wider outreach and practice of yoga, Ministry of Ayush had launched apps, that is WHO M Yoga app, Namaste Yoga app, Vibrate Yoga app. One Health emphasizes the importance of understanding and addressing the health challenges that arise at the interface of humans, animals, and their shared ecosystem. Current health care systems are being challenged by various disease burdens, that is antimicrobial resistance, non-communicable diseases, mental health disorder, climate and environmental health communicable diseases, pandemics, post-pandemic condition. To combat the challenges of healthcare system, traditional medicine can be a significant tool, as the local population frequently perceive it as more readily available, more economical, more acceptable healthcare system with an option that balances curative services with preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. I congratulate Indonesia, who is the current chair of ASEAN, and convey my best wishes to them. The Conference on Traditional Medicine between India and ASEAN countries provide a platform to deliberate on various dimensions of traditional system of medicine for attaining sustainable development goals and strategizing on modalities for advancing traditional medicine system. India and ASEAN countries recognize the potential of traditional medicine in promoting health and well-being. They can learn from each other's best practices in traditional medicine. Further, sharing experiences on regulatory framework, quality control measures, and integration of traditional medicine into healthcare system can help improve standard and effectiveness. Collaborative efforts between traditional medicine practitioners, healthcare professionals, policymakers, and communities are crucial to harness the potential of traditional medicine in achieving sustainable development goals, universal health coverage, and advancing global health and well-being. India, under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, believes in the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Indian traditional system of medicine also believe in the said principle, since all the beings are made of 5 elements. Thus, traditional system of medicine has great potential to play a major role in achieving the aim of One Health. The ASEAN conference will be another feeder in the said principle to develop Vishwa Bandhutva. Namaste, thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very informative remarks and highlighting the role of traditional medicine in promoting the health of the people and highlighting the importance of collaborative efforts of India and all ASEAN countries. Now I would request Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, to felicitate our guests with a memento. I request Secretary, Ministry of Ayush to felicitate Honorable Minister of Ayush and Minister of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji, with a memento and shawl. I request Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, to felicitate Honorable Minister of State for Ayush and Women and Child Development, Dr. Munjipara Mahendrapai ji, with the shawl and memento. Now I request Professor Rabindranath Acharya ji, Director General, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences to felicitate Secretary Ayush with the shawl and memento. I request Shrimati Kavita Garg, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, to felicitate Ms. Geetika Srivastav, Joint Secretary, Indo-Pacific Region, Ministry of External Affairs. Now I request Kavita Garg ma'am to felicitate Shri Jaideep Mishra ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Ministry of Ayush. बाकी लोगों का तो करवा दो। यहाँ बुलाना ग्रुप फोटो के लिए। ग्रुप फोटो तो एक करा लो। फोटो तो चाबी दो ना। सेक्रेटरी बोल के गए नो वोटर थैंक्स I request Dr. S.R.K. Vidyarthi, Director, Ministry of Ayush, to propose a vote of thanks.
Very good morning to all.
Due to urgency and prior commitments, Honorable Minister had to leave early. So we'll be continuing with the other proposed events. Thank you.
Very good morning to all. As I am going to express my thanks and gratitude, first I would like to say that the best way to express thanks and gratitude is not to utter some words, but to live by them. However, as we are going to give thanks to everybody, so first I would like to thank our Honorable Cabinet Minister, Shri Sarvanand Sonowal ji, our Minister of State, Shri Munjapara Mahendra Bhai, our Secretary Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha ji, for their continued guidance, support, and active participation in all the endeavors which lead to the rise of traditional medicine to greater heights and for the general public. I would like to thank Secretary General ASEAN for his video message that in spite of his busy schedule, he has taken time and provided guidance to us. I would like to thank our Shri Jaideep Mishra ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor of our Ministry and Health Ministry. Kavita Garg ma'am, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Ayush. Geetika ma'am, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. Professor Bhushan Patwardhan ji, National Research Professor of Ministry of Ayush. And my senior colleagues, my dear fellow members. I would like to express a special thanks to all the esteemed guests from the ASEAN member countries who are here, and we are going to be with us for the today and tomorrow for participating in this conference. I would like to thank all industry participants, media partners, and all persons who are directly and indirectly involved in making this event successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request all the guests to come on in the front for a group photograph. Welcome करवा रहे हो अश्विन जी? Welcome करवा रहे हो? Welcome. Honorable Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, Shri Anurag Sharma ji has also joined us. We welcome you, sir. Tea is arranged outside the hall. We may again gather after 15 minutes for the next technical session. Thank you.